Hello there. Welcome to your program Security Reports, where we get you informed, educated, enlightened, and most importantly updated on security issues anywhere it is happening. I remain yours and only, Ernest Enuneku.
And I, Shirley Daniels. Last week we promised to bring you the concluding part of the interview that we had with the Commissioner of Police in the person of CP Damalam after his visit, the courtesy visit he paid to the 40th Oba of Benin City. You know, on that interview we discussed a lot of things, and as you were there, where we discussed about the way forward for Edo State. And you know, I think the people of Edo State is going to enjoy this CP Damalam from the experience
I
so
tell
far.
you, CP Damalam Mohammed actually has a lot of antecedents speaking for him, right from his last place of deployment, Enugu State, where he did a lot for the Enugu State people. I think he's transferring that to Edo State. Now, the tax on him is much, because now, during that visit, we got to understand that he is the 40th CP, and the Oba of Benin is the 40th Oba of Benin. Now, this actually gives a lot of burden on the CP to actually ensure that he makes Edo State very safe for the people of Edo State.
And not just that, Ernest. You know, he's also married to an Edo woman. Oh.
All right, let's get to that interview we had with the CP Edo State, Damalam Mohammed.
The current Inspector General of Police, in line with his directive that all the police commissioners in charge of 36 state command in the Federation and FCT, they should provide adequate security coverage before, during, and after the election. In line with that directive, when I assumed duty here some few days to election, truly we share intelligence with other security agents. All the known criminal hideouts and black spots were raided, and we made a lot of arrests and recovery, and that will help a lot in making the election a success. And that arrest sent a strong signal to criminals that this state, there is no hiding place for criminals. We succeeded. This is one of the secrets. That director of IG, that compliance, as we comply with the director of IG, it helps a lot for us to witness successful, free and fair election in this state.
So, sir, sorry, I congratulate you on that. But now, can you please tell us the kind of strategy or the strategies that were put into place that the command was able to make this arrest that you mentioned so far?
You know, what I did, you know, the current Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, MPM, MNI, he encouraged us to have synergy with other security agents. The military, DSS, the law enforcement agents, NDLA, the immigration, civil defense, and others. So here we adopt that concept. We share, we collect and share intelligence. Even the raiding of the criminal hideout, the one we did, is in collaboration with military and other security agents. And that one has helped a lot in controlling crime and criminality in the state. So that synergy with other security agents is a factor, and it's a great tool we use to achieve success.
And is that synergy still going on presently?
Yeah, we maintain it. We meet periodically with other heads of the other security agents. Always we meet here. The brigade commander, the director DSS, the commandant civil defense, and others. In fact, we love ourselves so much, we are like family.
Okay, sir, that's a good one. Now, the election, before and during the election, there is this allegation that some politicians handed weapons, arms and ammunition to some hoodlums in order to, for the election. Now, what is the command doing in order to make sure that these arms and ammunition are being mopped up?
Here in Edo State, because of that proactive measures we have taken before the election, we were able to make a lot of arrests, and we made a lot of recovery. So, and this war against illegal possession of arms is ongoing. On daily basis, we are making arrests, we are making recovery. Later, during the interview, I will give you the breakup of what we have recovered.
Thank you, sir. Now, we know Edo State is a gateway to some other, as in so many states. Talk about the north, the east, and the rest. Now, because of this being the gateway of so many states, the influx of people trooping into the states are much. Now, what is the command doing in order to make sure that they checkmate crime and criminality, as in people coming in?
It's simple, it's difficult. Simple in the sense that if you only take it only yourself, you think you can do the police work, it's very difficult. It's very difficult if you think that you are the only person who can do it. But it's simple if you seek the collaboration and support of other security agents and members of public. Like the issue of community policing. It has helped a lot. We partner with members of public. Through them, we used to get a lot of intelligence about criminals, their hideout. And this one helped us. Some of them, even on the way before they come, we have information, we intercept them, we made a lot of arrests. So the only way, to address this fear or this observation is for us to continue to collaborate, have that synergy with other security agents, members of public, including the Edo State government, which have been very cooperative, very supportive.
Okay, sorry, we are taking your time. We know that you paid a courtesy visit to the 40th Oba of Benin, and in fact, it's just I don't know if I should call it a coincidence. You being the 40th Inspector General, Commissioner of Police, of Edo State, visiting the 40th Oba of Benin. So, what was the reason of your visit, and what do you intend to achieve out of that visit?
The Oba of Benin is the head of one of the oldest kingdom in the sub-Saharan Africa. He is the king of an old Asian city with long history, with rich tradition, culture, and civilization. And that the custodians of culture, they are the people with their leaders, with grassroots people. Their support is very important towards fighting criminality. Once you get their cooperation and support, that intelligence naturally to be coming to you, because they have all their eyes and ears, their representatives. They notice movements of criminals and their sponsors or their collaborators. All those, their district heads and whatever, very easy, they pass information to Oba, and Oba will give us the information to act. So, being a natural ruler, I think courtesy demands me as Commissioner of Police, I have to pay that visit. Not only say a courtesy visit, not to seek his blessing and support, and which he assured me he's going to give us. And even himself, he's happy like though I'm happy. It's coincident, he's the 40th Oba of Benin Kingdom. I'm the 40th Commissioner of Police inside of Edo State. Wow, this is very amazing.
Actually, I don't know. It calls for celebration.
Yeah.
Now, sir, we know Edo State have, apart from kidnapping, armed robbery, autism has been one of the greatest problems that Edo State is facing. Now, sir, please, what can you tell us about the efforts that the command is putting in order to make sure that the rate of cultism, I know it's not something that can be cleared out totally, but at least we can at least curb cultism. So what is his command doing so far on that?
You know, when I assumed office last February, the first security challenge confronted me in this command is issue of cultism. Then I came, I met the war going on. So I summoned my officers, both area commanders, DPOs, and other head of different department and section. And I told them that, to me, this issue of cultism is unacceptable. And I will not accept it, and I'm going to face them head on. And we really faced them. I raised a coalition force of other security agents. We really climbed on them, and we made a lot of arrests within that first 1 week. We arrested more than 100. We made a lot of recoveries of arms and ammunition. And as you can see now, the city and its environs, there is normalcy has been restored. People now can go about their normal business without any fear of intimidation. People can sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Unlike before, when I can everyday killings. No, we cannot accept that. We cannot accept that, because I told the police officers, even if we have collaborators among our officers, they should repent. Because this war is real. It's not a threat, it's a promise that we are going to flush them out of this state. And so far so good, we have succeeded. Issue of cultism, we know, it's a great challenge of this generation. I talked to them, I told them, you say we are a Christian or we are Muslim, and now we are serving another God. They check their consciousness. I told them, cultism is evil. So the earlier they leave, I say, you who are supporting them, when the chips are down, they will expose you. You lose your respect, lose your job, and you will be prosecuted. So far so good. We made a lot of arrests. We charged them to court. We made a lot of recovery of arms and ammunition. So the cultism issue is going down. And the fight is ongoing, is non-stop.
I want to answer, so far, what has been the achievement of the command?
We know
it's quite a short period of time. But
you know, from months of February to April, we made a lot of achievements, in the sense that a total number of cases reported is 141. Then a total number of suspects arrested is 282. Then the total number of cases we charged to court, 110. Then we succeeded in charging 215 suspects to court. And in terms of recovery of arms and ammunition, we recover arms of different caliber, 37, ranging from locally made AK-47, pump action, and what have you. Then the total number of ammunition we recover is 143. So within this period, we are able to achieve that. And it helps us, because the criminal, the sponsors, they all know that we are serious. Once we get you, you go and face the music. You go to court. Go to court and defend your action. Nothing like bail. So it has helped us in achieving stability. And the fight is ongoing. Well, my message to them about cultism is simple. I am appealing to them to come and join us, to give us all the necessary support to fight this evil called cultism. Parents should monitor their children. They should talk to them. It's their responsibility to know who and who are friends to their children. It's very important. Because you see children of primary and secondary school into cultism. Because anybody who arrested, I said it, anybody who arrested with arms and ammunition, he will not be treated as a cultist, we'll treat him as an armed robber, because they are using that issue of cultism to hide and commit a lot of heinous crime, armed robbery, murder, and what have you. So anybody we arrested with our nomination, we are going to charge him as an armed robber to court. We will not spare anybody. And more so, the way I did in Enugu, where we opened a reformatory center, where we seek the services of men of God, the priests, the reverend fathers, bishops, for them to be coming to preach to them. We are going to adopt the same policy here. I'm already in touch with the state government and His Excellency, the executive governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, he agreed that he's going to give us that support. We are going to offer a reformatory center like in Enugu. On daily basis, they will be going for lectures, they will be going for counseling. I think it's the best way we should adopt to reduce the case of occultism. And I'm appealing once more to good people of Enugu State. Whenever good people of Edo State, whatever they see, whether movements of individual, suspicious movement of individual objects, or anybody who is sponsoring cultism or what they should be able to give us that intelligence. And we promise them that whatever information they give us is going to be treated with higher confidentiality. We will not disclose the identity of our informant because we know the consequence. When you disclose the identity of the informant, you are exposing him to risks. The risk is like 2. If you know, you can lose him. He will stop giving you information. He will run away. So we are thanking the good people of Edo State for their cooperation, and we need more cooperation and support from them. You know, in his effort to make sure that the activities of criminals and criminality reduced to the various minimal level, the Inspector General of Police inaugurated Marine Section in Edo State Command, and not only that, they have an OC and they have other personnel. Though we are facing this problem of logistics, like during election, the state government hire about 10 boats for us. It helps for patrolling and the carrying of election materials to the referring areas. So we already write to force headquarters seeking for more gunboats and what have you to help to check activities of all these militants and other criminals. And so far so good, because even at the bank of the rivers we have a checking point, just to make sure that whatever they commit, they didn't escape, neither they come into our state. But I'm sure in a very near future we'll get more boat for water patrol.
Welcome back from that interview with CP Dan Mallam Mohammed. We want to believe that the people of Edo State is going to enjoy his vast knowledge and all the activity, all his whatever he's going to do just to make sure that Edo State is peaceful. Now, moving forward, it's so sad that the insecurity state in Nigeria is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and I think that is one of the reasons why recently the Nigerian army has banned the use of motorcycle in 7 states in Nigeria. That these states include Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Niger, Sokoto State,
and Kebbi State.
And Kebbi State. Thank you. You know, this issue we will have to, though we don't know. Ernest, I don't know. What do you think would make the Nigerian army to actually take this action?
Now, from investigations, it was gathered that the bandits and kidnappers actually do all they do from this axis, from the bushes and from the hinterlands. So the army is saying that all forms of movement through motorcycle should be stopped in these areas to help them do their job, to ensure that they nip in the bud this issue of banditry and kidnapping that is actually going on right now in the northwest of Nigeria.
And I think they also call on the state governors of these states to also help them make sure that this law is being enforced, and anybody who is seen on using a motorcycle on these 7 states, will be seen as a bandit.
Now, the fact remains that Nigeria must be united, Nigeria must be peaceful, and whatever measures need to be done to ensure the security of lives of every Nigerian should be put in place to ensure that everybody actually go about their normal business and everybody do all they need to do. All right, going forward right now, last week we were in Jaji, which we actually attended the Chief of Army Staff conference. It was actually his first conference, quarterly conference of the year, and a lot of activities actually happened there. We will be getting to you the Chief of Army Staff, his maiden address in this conference, where he addressed a lot of issues concerning the army and the insecurity Nigeria is faced with today.
Heartily welcome you all to Jaji, the home of the infantry, and indeed the home of training for this unique Chief of Army Staff's first quarter conference 2019, which is being held simultaneously with the Combat Arms Training Week. The choice of Jaji as the venue for this conference is for many reasons. Firstly, it affords officers of the Infantry Corps who just concluded the reunion to seamlessly migrate to the Chief of Army Staff's first quarter conference without having to embark on another journey. Secondly, it offers us the opportunity to see the level of transformation of Nigerian Army training institutions in the past 4 years, with Jaji as an example. This transformed citadel of military training provides the serene environment needed for us to brainstorm and appraise our performance in the first quarter 2019. We will also, in the course of this conference, deliberate on key issues that will positively prepare and project us into the second quarter 2019 with a view to further consolidate our efforts towards achieving my vision to have a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. I appreciate the combined efforts of the principal staff officers and other staff officers at the Army headquarters, the Infantry Corps and Center, and Headquarters 1 Division for painstaking coordination and arrangements put in place to have a successful conference. It is gratifying to note that the Nigerian Army within the first quarter 2019 has performed creditably well, starting with the seizing of the initiative and turning the battle momentum against the Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast, and wrapping up with the professional manner with which the Nigerian Army supported the civil authorities as part of our constitutional role to ensure the successful conduct of the 2019 general elections. The successful conduct of exercise Edo-Ikie 3 and Operation Safe Conduct 2019 in support of the Nigerian police and civil authorities has contributed to strengthen the nation's democracy, considering the wide acceptability and credibility of the elections as espoused by key nations of the world, civil society organizations, as well as local and international observers and monitors. Despite reports of some alleged cases of infractions by some personnel, which are being investigated by a high-level committee, I am elated with the encomiums and accolades showered on the Nigerian Army for the high level of professionalism exhibited in the conduct of the elections. I say well done to each and every one of you. I must also acknowledge the resilience and doggedness of our troops in reversing the ugly aware, Boko Haram has allied with the Islamic State West African province to make northern Borno and the joint area of the Lake Chad Basin an enclave straddling the 4 countries in the region. Thus, the fight requires a combined holistic approach by the countries of the Lake Chad Commission to ensure the total defeat of both Boko Haram terrorists and the ISWAP. That is why Operation Yanchin Tapki was launched, to effectively ensure the total destruction of the insurgents hibernating and operating from the Tumbus, with a view to crippling their ability and capability to wage any form of war. The operational successes recorded in this first quarter 2019 in this fight have further underscored the Nigerian Army's resolve to defend the territorial integrity of our dear country, Nigeria. Gentlemen, there is no doubt that we are engaged in asymmetric operations against terrorists side by side with the resurgence of kidnapping and armed banditry in the northwest as well as in the north-central zones of our country. The strategy we used in the past to address such ugly trends in the southeast and the south-south regions must therefore be rejuvenated with new out-of-the-box ideas to address the current security challenges. This has necessitated the launching of the Operation Hurricane Kunama 3. The concept of this operation will require the combat arms as well as all combat support and combat support services working in synergy with other security agencies, the traditional institutions and other stakeholders to get rid of criminal elements. We must ensure information flow that will be converted into actionable and timely intelligence for troops to take proactive measures and to support and drive targeted operations. It is important that commanders in the field relate with the society and other security agencies in their efforts to bring the high rate of kidnapping, acts of banditry and attacks on villages leading to killings in Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna and Katsina states to an end. There must be sustained synergy, cooperation and collaboration with all stakeholders in these endeavors. At this point, I will seize this opportunity to caution the media, especially in the social media, and the general public not to glorify bandits, armed robbers, kidnappers and ethnic militias to the extent that they are seen as stronger than the military and other security agencies. The criminals and bandits are only as strong as the society paints or view them, and further propagated by the media. It is important to state that information and intelligence flows from the people and indeed from the press and the public. Such criminal activities are intelligence-based, and the people are in this regard to provide timely information and clear identifications of the perpetrators. Undue publicity and praising of the bandits and other criminal elements will only motivate them to commit more criminal acts at the detriment of the society. Therefore, the press, the general public, security analysts, and public commentators are advised to show more maturity and due diligence in this collective effort of ridding the country of criminals and criminalities. We are all aware that of recent there have been comments by different interest groups, civil society organizations, clergies including pastors, imams and sheikhs, on the state of security in the country. Many of these stakeholders have painted very gloomy pictures of the current security situation. While no one can deny the prevailing state of insecurity in some parts of the country, the situation has not degenerated to the disparate levels as claimed by the commentators. Every Nigerian, including the pastors, imams, and other stakeholders, have a part to play in the moral rectitude of the society. The state of insecurity in parts of the country is partly attributable to the moral decadence in the society, and our religious leaders have very important roles to play as our spiritual moral guardians and custodians. Blaming the government and security agencies while not making expected moral contributions will certainly not bring an end to the security challenges we are facing today. Rather than blames, these religious leaders should pray for the criminals and the bandits to change their ways, and also to pray for the government and the security agencies to succeed in finding lasting solutions to the security challenges in the country and indeed globally. On our own part, we shall continue to conduct operations as necessary to mitigate identified challenges across the spectrum for our society. To effectively succeed in the conduct of operations, we must embark on realistic and effective training and establish operational units in line with Nigerian Army Order of Battle 2016. I am happy to observe that in line with my training directive for the year 2019, formations and units have commenced important activities such as the annual rate classification, corporal and below competitions, and training of standby forces for emergency deployment, for local operations and peacekeeping operations. In the area of capacity building, we have sponsored several senior and junior officers on overseas courses, seminars, and workshops. We partnered with the Harvard Kennedy School of the United States of America to train 30 senior officers on leadership and strategic management at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja. Similarly, in order to develop the intellectual capacity of our officers, we initiated the Chief of Army Staff's lecture series, which are held twice every month at the Nigerian Army Resource Center. This is aimed at bringing intellectuals, academia, captains of industries, and other notable individuals to speak on contemporary issues that will help build the intellectual capacity of personnel. In the area of field training, we sponsored a platoon of troops to Burkina Faso for exercise Flintlock, and 2 officers and 8 senior officers for the Africa-India exercise in India. I have also approved the conduct of a 1-week doctrinal and leadership seminar for junior leaders at Headquarters Training and Doctrine Command, Nigerian Army. This is an innovative training for junior leaders as they will be tested in a 2-sided manual wargaming exercise aimed at preparing them for operations. These and many more are efforts put in place to have professionally trained troops. To ensure troops are no longer battle fatigued, I have directed that fresh troops be injected into the theater of operations, while overstayed personnel are gradually being inducted. We have operationalized some new command schools, brigades, battalions, and forward operation bases. Some of them are Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare School in Girin, the 63 Brigade Asaba, 98 Battalion, which is still oncoming, Nigerian Army Special Forces Logistics Base, and the Forward Operations Gembu. I have directed that the Forward Operation Base Ode Ekiti be made operational, and also we now have the 19th Brigade and its unit to operate deep into the insurgents' hideout in northern Borno and the Lake Chad region. We have also established a Center for Counterterrorism under the Nigerian Army University View, essentially as a hub for comprehensive research on counter-terrorism. More establishment and units will come on stream in the nearest future as we implement the Order of Battle 2016. The Nigerian Army within the first quarter 2019 also established the Nigerian Army Vehicle Manufacturing Company with a view to developing our capability to produce our own vehicles, repair and carry out maintenance. I am glad to note that within the first quarter 2019, the company has made significant repairs of unserviceable equipment in support of Operation Labia Dole, and indeed in support of Operation Harbin Kunama 3. The company is also on the verge of delivering unmade operational vehicles. This shows that it is only a matter of time before our military-industrial complex takes a firm root in line with Mr. President's directives. We have also established the Nigerian Army Land Forces Simulation Center. The Director General and some officers just came back from Turkey on an assessment and familiarization visit. When fully established, it will cater for all forms of simulations as a force multiplier for our training efforts and will reduce cost of training to a minimum. Furthermore, in a bid to promote information technology and align with standard-based practices, the Nigerian Army has approved the use of a secure military unified communication system called the Nigerian Army Secure Information Platform. The Nigerian Army Secure Information Platform is designed to offer fast access, secure and timely delivery of voice, video and data communication links in real time. It is almost due for launching, but at the moment, all mails and correspondence to the Chief of Army Staff Office are sent through the upgraded Nawani platform, and my directives are also communicated via the same medium. This has further enhanced speed of transmission of directives and drastically reduced the circulation of large volumes of papers. I therefore urge you all to key into this innovation immediately. Gentlemen, an army needs logistic support to function optimally. To this effect, Mr. President has intervened promptly by authorizing concerted efforts through a government-to-government procurement policy to obtain critical platforms needed for our operations. This package, which is almost due for delivery, will also come with the technical training, content, and maintenance support. Similarly, to ensure adequate logistics support for our operations in the Northeast, we have established a new logistics base in Monguno, procured vehicles, motorcycles, ballistic helmets, fragmentation jackets, boots, and other clothing stores and general stores in support of our operations. Let me reiterate at this juncture that we remain very passionate about the welfare of our troops. I strongly believe that a well-motivated army is the bastion of military victory. In this conviction, I have pursued vigorously the construction, renovation, rehabilitation, and indeed the development of new structures for both officers and soldiers, their living quarters nationwide. I have also, within the period under review, directed the payment of the new ration cash allowance, operations and uniform allowance as approved by Mr. President. The Nigerian Army University Bureau is fast developing in terms of academics and infrastructure. I have directed that the Nigerian Army constituency must be given preference in admission and job opportunities in the university. Similarly, the Nigerian Army Welfare Holdings Limited has established and incorporated several welfare-related companies that will be beneficial to personnel and their families. These include Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited, the International Livestock Market at Giri, Abuja, the Norji Gasland Plant at Mambila Barracks, Abuja, Agent Banking in Nigerian Army Barracks, the Super Green Securities Limited, and the launching of the micro distribution centers of gas penetration plants in collaboration with the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. The plan is to replicate these laudable efforts nationwide. With these incomprehensive welfare packages in place, I have no doubt that troops of the Nigerian Army will be motivated to give their best in the discharge of their constitutional responsibilities. Having mentioned some of the things achieved within the first quarter of 2019, it is important for us during this conference to appraise our successes and also shortcomings with a view to preparing for the second quarter 2019. It is my desire to see the Nigerian Army well prepared to face the contemporary security challenges ahead. On this premise, I welcome the theme for this year's Combat Arms Training Week, which is leveraging land power for current and future warfare, the utility of the combat arms. I am convinced the various briefs and lectures programs, as well as the discussion and interactive sessions that will follow, will provide workable solutions that will address the emerging security challenges and position the Nigerian Army for more effective service delivery towards providing secure environment for peace and unity in our country. To achieve this, commanders at all levels must be more proactive in their information gathering efforts and in processing the information into credible intelligence for operations. Commanders must also be innovative and prudent in the management of resources to ensure proper maintenance of equipment placed under their charge. Training of troops under command to ensure physical fitness and operational efficiency has to be paramount as we move into the second quarter of 2019. Distinguished colleagues, let me use this important occasion to pay tribute to the gallant officers and soldiers who, in obedience to our Constitution, have made the supreme sacrifice in line of duty within the period under review. They have, as patriotic Nigerians, fought bravely and demanded of them. My condolences go to their families. We will never forget them, and we must ensure that the payment of their entitlements and the welfare of those they left behind remain priority. May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace. Finally, and with a high sense of responsibility and respect, I humbly express our profound gratitude to Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, DCFR, for his invaluable support to the Nigerian Army. I want to, on behalf of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, once more pledge our total loyalty to Mr. President and our commitment to the defense of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Nigerian Army shall continue to remain apolitical, professional, and responsive in the discharge of its constitutional roles. On this note, I have the honor and privilege to declare the Chief of Army Staff's first quarter conference and the Combat Arms Training Week 2019 open. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome back from that speech by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Chukwu Yusuf Buratai. We must say he's actually doing a lot. Now, from when he assumed office in 2015 till date, a lot have happened in Nigeria in terms of security.
It has been work, apart from the security, it has been work, a lot of projects, a lot of commissioning going on.
All right, apart from his speech, we actually covered the commissioning of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, the brand new headquarters.
And the most amazing part of that project, I must say, is the fact that it didn't take them up to a year.
It was actually 10 months.
10 months.
10 months.
To conclude that wonderful
massive
structure. I will have to say, in fact, well done to the Chief of Army Staff, in the person of Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai. He has done so well. And we think, I don't know, Ernest, the next chief of army staff should be ready to fit into the shoe. What do you think?
I think the landmarks or the shoes he's keeping behind will be very massive. And we just pray that the next chief of army staff will surpass his record and making sure that Nigeria is actually safe. Now, one thing we must also say here is that this new edifice is actually geared towards improving the training and retraining of personnel of the Nigerian Army. And this structure, I tell you, is a master edifice. Let's get you that commissioned now.
It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, and specifically the soon-to-be commissioned and declared open the new NASI headquarters complex. Today is like a dream come true for many of us. Military men are not expected to show emotions, but we are overwhelmed by the revolution that has been ongoing at Jaji and elsewhere in the Nigerian Army formations and units. For those of us who are familiar with Jaji will know the decay in terms of infrastructure if you recast 5 years backward. But today there has been a remarkable transformation in the infrastructure of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry and other establishments here in Jaji. It is not just only infrastructure, even the training has undergone tremendous transformation, and that is what is also behind some of the successes that we've been witnessing in our operations. The Chief of Army Staff has done tremendously well. We cannot thank him enough. Perhaps we may not attribute anyone that is being responsible, being the father of the Nigerian Army. But in my own humble opinion, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai is the father of a new Nigerian Army.
Some of these projects that will be commissioned today and in the coming days, such as the new headquarters here, the watermanship training wing, the platoon weapons wing, blocks of classrooms and administrative offices at the officer cadets training wing are all conceived and delivered to actualize these objectives. While some are brand new projects, others have been rehabilitated and remodeled from their previous states. Among these projects are the airborne rigger shed, the entire airborne training area including all its apparatuses, the Dambazau student officers hostel, and the airborne students quarters. Ladies and gentlemen, no structure will last forever, but a structure is as good as the user. It is therefore implies that the lifespan of an item, structure, equipment, or facility can be extended for a considerable long period of time with proper maintenance. Accordingly, I have directed that maintenance and management of these facilities must be well planned and ensured. In this regard, the young officers course, the commanding officers course, as well as the company commander's course accommodation that were earlier remodeled and renovated have such arrangements in place. I therefore charge the Commandant, Nigerian Army School of Infantry, and particularly the users of these and other facilities, to take them as they would their personal properties. At this juncture, I would like to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari, for the support to the Nigerian Army despite the tight budgetary constraints and competing priorities. We pledge our unalloyed loyalty to the Commander-in-Chief and to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me also commend the Nigerian Army engineers that supervised the projects for a job well done, and also thank the team of civil companies that provided the different services that made this project a reality. I would like to also thank the Commander Infantry Corps, the immediate past Commander Infantry Corps as well, who is now General Officer Commanding Air Division, for his foresight and indeed the leadership of the Infantry Corps in ensuring that training facilities are well maintained, as well as the mobilization and fourth generation of troops to fight across the various theaters of operation are done professionally. Let me use this opportunity to also congratulate the Commandant of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, who will use this opportunity to be the first person to utilize this gigantic and beautiful edifice. Congratulations. Well, the congratulations will not be concluded without congratulating all infantry officers and indeed the soldiers. We have done a lot to improve the welfare of the troops and to improve also the training capacity of the officers. Many courses have been opened both at home and abroad for the infantry personnel, especially the instructors. When I was here as the commandant of the school, those of you that were here with me, you saw the efforts I made in renovation. A lot of things have been done even when I was commandant. So it's a continuation of that effort, and to God be the glory. I want to most sincerely thank all of you for finding time to be here. And as we march in to see the beautiful edifice, I'm very much particularly pleased with the simulation center, although equipment are yet to be installed, but we will do that as quickly as possible. It's a force multiplier, and I'm sure the Director General Land Forces Simulation of Nigeria is here.
Yes, sir.
Olukoju.
Yes, sir.
So you take advantage, make sure this equipment is installed as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
So once again, thank you and God bless all. Well, to the glory of God and benefit of all officers and men of the Nigerian Army, we commission this edifice, headquarters, Nigerian Army School of Infantry. So help us God. Amen. The headquarters complex project was initiated, constructed, furnished, and commissioned by me today, 24th April 2019. Glory of God.
Welcome back from that report. You've seen it all. We've seen the wonderful structure that was put in place for the Nigerian Army, just to make sure that they get, when you want somebody to do a very good job, and you have to give them what they need. And I think this School of Infantry is going to help so much. I don't know, Ernest, if you...
From that commissioning, it's very obvious that the Nigerian Army will be rolling out more experienced, more vibrant, and more serious personnel, because the environment itself is enough to motivate anybody to do what he or she wants to do. We must say kudos to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai.
I think now I'll go and join the Army, Ernest. Oh, they should be getting ready for me, because that School of Infantry, I must be there.
Okay, now moving ahead. Now, just yesterday, the Inspector General of Police, in the person of Adamu Mohammed, actually visited the Senate.
Ernest, I don't know. We just hope that that visit is going to yield a good result in terms of the insecurity Nigerians and Nigeria at large is facing. We don't know yet. We don't know, but by the end of maybe today or so, we should get a positive. We are hoping to get a positive result from that.
Our prayer is, may this visit actually translate to a more secured Nigeria, a more secured environment for everybody to go about their normal business. Well, that is all we have for you this week on your program, Security Report. And we just hope and pray that you will actually ensure that safety is part of what you take consciously Your safety is our concern.
Yeah.
I remain yours and only, Ernest Enuneku.
And I, Shirley Daniels.